Hi, this is Brandon Moon with Leland Fly Fishing. I want to welcome you to Fly Tying Night tonight. Tonight we're going to be tying up a Renée Harrop pattern created here on the Henry's Fork of the Snake River in Idaho. This is a great cripple pattern and very effective in fooling trout. If you don't know who Renée Harrop is, he's one of the best fly designers, tyers in the world and probably in the history of fly tying. So when he ties up a specific pattern, he's done a lot of work to know exactly how to tie it and make it effective. So take note with that. We're going to be tying it for a PMD. So this is a PMD last chance cripple. If you find any value in this video, make sure you hit the like button, leave us a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to receive future notifications. We appreciate that, and it means a lot to us as we are working hard to bring good quality content to you guys on a regular basis. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. For our hook, we're using the ML052. We're going to tie it in a size 18. You can tie it in a size 20, or you can also tie it all the way down in a 16 and a 14. So with that, we'll put the hook in the vise. Real simple pattern. This one's not going to be real complicated. Primrose 12/0 Semperfli Classic Wax Thread. I'm just going to start that roughly about 3/4 of the way down the hook, up the hook shank. So I'm going to have 1/4 of that hook shank left available. I'm going to go just before the bend of the hook, trim out my thread, and I'm just going to finish to the bend. For the tailing on this, we're using Coq de Leon in a medium dyed dun. And I really don't want very many fibers. I just want to take just a couple fibers. I want the tips to be aligned there. So I'm going to measure this out. I want the tail to be just about the length of the hook shank. If I'm going to be a little off, I'd like that to be a little bit short. You can see that's about right there. I'm going to secure it down. Now I'm just going to take a couple wraps rearward underneath that tail, and that's just going to help that tail ride perpendicular right out the vertical there. Put that in. Clip it out. We want it to lay flush with that 3/4 mark there. Okay. For the body on this, we're using Veevus, a pale yellow. Body quill. I'll use that quill to help me create a nice smooth underwrap as I go rearward. Just like I did with my thread at the beginning. Nice even touching wraps. Now I'll just trim that out. You can taper this body with your thread. It's really a slim body, so I'm not really going to taper much on this one so I don't build up any extra bulk. Now I'm just going to half hitch and rest that off to the side. Now I'm just going to wrap this Veevus quill body substitute. Touching wraps going forward. You can tell I'm using the rotary feature. This makes for a more even wrap. A lot easier to get good wraps that way. I'm going to go up in front. Now I'm going to secure that down. And trim that out. That's going to give me a nice good body. Now I'm going to create just a little bulge. I'm going to use the Sulfura yellow Kapok dubbing. I really don't want much. I'm just going to make a really small amount. It's just going to create a really small bulge here. Again, I'm going to use my rotary feature, and you can tell I'm wrapping this little bulge back over that quill body. I want to have that 25% still up front, and you can see that that dubbing was very, very fine. I'm going to take, you can use CDC. I'm going to use some poly yarn. Okay, Semperfli's Iron Blue poly yarn. I've taken this poly yarn and I've split it in half. Okay, I'm going to measure this out. I want this to be roughly about the length of the hook shank. I'm just going to kind of trim that out just a little bit. So I want that to be about the length of the hook shank of there. Now I'm just going to do a loose wrap. That'll secure that down. I'm going to wrap that forward up to the eye of the hook. Now I'm just going to put 2 wraps up in front. That's going to help secure that down and stand it up. Now I'm going to wrap rearward back to that dubbing bulge, and I'm going to take and trim that out just like that. For the hackle on this, if you've got some like natural done hackle or a light done is what I like, but I also have this silver badger, and it's kind of almost like a natural done color, and I've prepped this barb so you can see I've prepped it a little farther on the side that's going to be wrapping against the hook. Shiny side towards me. I'm just going to secure that down. Now I'm going to take and wrap this hackle. And it's roughly about 2 or 3 wraps. I don't want to crowd the eye of the hook, so I'm going to go with 2. Pull it back. Now we're just going to whip finish. I did go in front and laid another wrap or 2 just to lock that in. Pull all of that back. And whip finish. Snip that out. Now we'll trim out the hackle. Anytime you've got fish feeding kind of on that top and you're getting refusals with your traditional dry fly pattern, chances are they're taking either an emerging or crippled insect. And there you've got our last chance Cripple PMD. This is a guides fly, very quick to tie, very durable, and very effective, very deadly. You can trim that down a little bit if you want. You want it to be roughly, that one's actually pretty good. So make sure and have these in your box for the summer. Swing them through the riffles and catch some unsuspecting trout. This is an effective pattern here on the Henry's Fork in Island Park in the Harriman Ranch area, and Snake River, the South Fork of the Snake River here in southeast Idaho as well. So make sure you put this in your box and have a wonderful evening. If you find any value in this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe, leave us a comment, and the bell to receive future notifications. We appreciate your support. You have a wonderful evening.